There you go. What's up, guys? My name is Julian, the Cuban Missile Crisis Marquez, UFC middleweight, and I'm here talking to the King of King Energy.
I'm a king. My name is Julien Marquez. I train out of Syndicate Mixed Martial Arts.
Julien Marquez set to go. Oh, he's hurt! Julien Marquez firing a combination.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Fucking wow.
Appreciate
it. Thank you, man. Congrats.
This is my dream, and this is who I am, and this is where I want to be. I'm ready. I've been ready for years.
They watch me because they see motivation, they see love, they see passion, they see some guy that's just trying to do what he's trying to do, and it doesn't matter if people are hating on me, it doesn't matter anything, but I'm following what I love. We don't look for fights, we look for the joy.
They try to control their surroundings by being fake alpha, and I love that we talk about this because I know a lot of women are going to watch this and they're going to be like, yo, my man is doing that. The guys I used to be attracted to are doing that. And now I realize that it's actually beta, but a real person that power knows, hey, I'm a light. The same light that's in me is in you.
I'm a king.
That's what because I heard you say when we didn't record, you were like, at first, when you saw my videos, you were a little bit critical because you didn't know what was going on. And then what made you like change your mind?
Well, the thing is like whenever I do anything, I always take research. I always have to make sure everything's great because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that don't have your best interest, or they want money, or they want something, and they'll literally convince you of something that isn't real, but they'll make you believe it because why? You're at a point in your life that you are looking for answers and you feel like that's the answer you've been waiting for. And it's very hard to manipulate, or it's very easy to manipulate someone's mentality and mindset. So when I watched a lot of your videos, none of your videos were attacking anyone. None of your videos were asking people of things. Your videos were trying to change people's mentalities to a better person. It wasn't like, hey, this is what you're going to say, this is what you're going to do, and this is how you're going to roll with it. You told these people a different way to look at themselves and respect themselves a lot more, to grow as a person and mentally, to where you can tell them one thing, and then that one thing is going to continuously build them up to be a better, greater person at that moment. And even if they stop watching your videos today, it's still going to bring them up to a higher level than what they perceive themselves at that moment in time. So when I watched those videos, I was like, all right, this dude's chill. And that's why I reached out to you. I was like, hey man, whatever you need, I'm rocking with it. I like your energy. I like your mentality. I like what you're doing for people. Because frankly, sometimes people just need to be reminded that they are, you know, special, that they are, you know, it's okay to think of the thoughts that they have, but they need to respect themselves more to get what they want because they deserve everything they've ever wanted.
That actually like touched me. You're going to be like a great example where people are going to watch this interview and they're going to be like, oh, this is how you are in your power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure, dude.
The first question I want to ask you, more than your mindset going into fights, I wanted to ask you about the path to becoming a professional MMA fighter, your belief system, because there's a lot of people, it's almost comparable to like the NBA, where like a lot of people want to be NBA players, right? A lot of people want to be MMA fighters. Your belief system just going to the path where you always just like, sure, I'm going to make this, or was it more like was it just so much fun for you that you just wanted to keep going?
If you go with my belief system, let's go back to like when I'm a kid. Everything I ever did was a competition. Someone's like, hey, we're going to run track and field. I want you to join in to do this. I'm like, all right. My goal at the time was to be the fastest 100-meter sprinter. Even though I was not the fastest on our team, even though I was not that person that ran a 11, second 100, I still showed up every single day to work, to bust my tail, to make sure I'd have the cardio and try to improve every single time. It didn't matter what I was doing. I would always give 100% effort into it. When you do things for yourself and towards a goal, you have to have that mentality. You have to have that insanity of just repeatedly going after it. It doesn't matter if it's raining outside, you need to go run. It doesn't matter if if people tell you you're not good enough, if you're not tall enough, if you're not fast enough. If you keep showing up, you'll get to where you want to be. And that's how it was throughout my whole career. In wrestling, I was a part of one of the most elite wrestling squads. There was, out of 14 people, there was 8 state championships, 8 people that took first place. Think of that. And then there was 12 people that placed. So think of that. It was just an elite deal. I wasn't that wrestler that was the best, the high elite. But I'll tell you what, every day I showed up. They took me down, they did it, whatever. I got back up.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
I just wouldn't give up no matter how hard it was. And with that mentality right there of just always showing up, always going is what made me today, what made me who I am at this moment.
The quote is, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Now you did something amazing, which I teach too in meditation, and anything that you want to do where you keep being at it. It's like the Al Pacino, I don't know if you've seen Any Given Sunday, where he has that quote where he's like, if you just go a little inch further in that grass.
On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying.
All these inches will add up and you will be a winner in the end. So you were so smart, like your consciousness was, I think you already probably seen it, that if you just get a little bit better every day and do that repetition every day, then you will be amazing at what you do.
Absolutely.
But I also think you applied Einstein's quote, because I'm sure that if you've seen something where this type of training doesn't work for me, there is probably something better, then you adapted to it and you were like, okay, I have to try something different, because if I keep doing this, I will get the same results. You probably have the mindset and you were open to like, okay, this is not working as good as I want it to work, so let me try something new and see what I get.
Yeah, absolutely correct. What I mean is not what you're doing. Like, obviously, change what you're doing. If it's not working, you have to change it.
Yeah.
But I mean the mentality of belief, you don't change it. That's the one thing you will not change. You are going to be that person. You cannot change it. And you have to be insane on the fact to believe that. If you don't believe in that, then it won't happen. But you have to believe and put your body through all that stuff and constantly believe, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's a gamble that I'm willing to take.
So let's talk about the idea of an alpha, because that's why I want to make an example for people. And I don't like the term alpha so much, because I feel like there's a lot of fake people who like pretend they're alpha just to attract women in a way. I'd rather talk about someone who's in their power, because I have a lot of guys who talk to me and they're like, oh my God, this girl, and how do I get this girl? And they put girls on a pedestal and they don't realize that the most attractive trait of a person is to follow their dream, follow their purpose, and by them being in their power, following their excitement, following that energy, being in that energy, girls will be so attracted to that. And I would love that I talked to you, because I feel like you are an example for that and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just wanted you to tell your experience with that.
With women, I'm 100% alpha with what I want to do. If I say, hey, I got 2 o'clock, if I have a 2 o'clock meeting, I'm like, hey, I'll hang out later. And they're like, oh, what time? I'll be like, okay, we can hang out around 3:30. And then I got to be home by 7 o'clock because I have another deal. They're like, oh, you don't want to hang out no more? I was like, no, this is me. Like, I have to stick to a schedule if you want to hang out during that time. If not, we can reschedule for another day. But my alpha side will focus on me, because that's my time. If you want a little bit in there, I can fit you in. It's not trying to be rude, but I'm focused on me. And then if it's to the point, they're like, hey, something came up, I have to go do this. I'm not going to be like, yo, well, we had something scheduled, this, and then I'm not going to be mad at them. What I'm going to do is be like, okay, hey, no worries. Just hit me up next time. And then I'll let it go. At that point in time, it is their time. It is their space. It is their energy. It is their it's their responsibility, so they have to do it. So I'll back away and let them do their stuff. And you know what? Majority of the time, they hit you back up and they're like, hey, you know, are you free this weekend? Can we go hang out? And then they see the respect in that, because at the same time, every guy's always just sitting there. It's like a test. I swear. It's like a test. They'll sit there and they'll feed you with, like, they'll set up a day and then they'll remove it. They'll remove it if something came up. And most guys will be like, yo, or like they'll say something stupid and it ruins it because they're trying to be an alpha. But if you're like, no worries, then they're like, okay, this guy's like not a dick. And then next thing you know, you got that relationship, you got that meetup, you got a new friendship, you're building trust with somebody, and then they don't look at you like every single other person that's trying to attack them, if that makes sense.
I just want you to know everything you just said, everything is what an alpha does, what a man in his power does. So the definitions where you thought it was beta, it's complete alpha, because that's what I'm talking about, a fake alpha. A fake alpha will just be completely observed with his mindset and will not learn something new. A real alpha, a real man in his power, is following his excitement and is open to whatever information excites him around him, no matter what channel it comes from. It might come from a coach, it might come from a friend, it might come from an interview, it might come from anything. Because a real man, a real powerful man, can only stay powerful if he grows, if he goes with the time, if he keeps on growing. And you can only keep on growing if you have an open mindset. So that's an alpha, real alpha trait. When you do it, when you say, oh, I don't have time, that's, for example, a real alpha trait. You go with your own time. You follow your excitement, and the other person has to be agreeable with your free time, with your schedule. Same thing on the other hand, and that's an alpha trait too. Like, because a powerful man, a king, wants to have a queen. A powerful man wants to have a woman who follows their purpose. If a woman is like, same thing for me. Let's say she's a D1 college volleyball player, and she's like, I have practice at 7, or I have a game at 7. If you're gonna be like, no, fuck that, come go with me, eat pizza or shit like that, then you are a beta, because you are needy. You trying to fuck up someone else's time, their purpose, because of your needy feelings of you maybe wanting to have sex, or you maybe wanting to have good feelings of the girl. Everything you said was completely alpha. And I don't like the term alpha, so I'm going to use the term power. Everything you said was completely powerful, because being in your power is respecting yourself and at the same time respecting the loved ones, the other ones, and their time. Someone who's needy and tries to control everything shows, and everyone shows, that that person needs to control the world. That person needs to control his surroundings, compared to he's always knowing that he's in his power and knows that everything is going to work out anyway. And he creates his own positive feelings instead of trying to get positive feelings from the world. A lot of people who pretend to be alpha, they pretend like you did. Oh, I'm so hard. I want everybody to have my ideas. They try to control their surroundings by being fake alpha. And I love that, like, we talk about this, because I know a lot of women are going to watch this and they're going to be like, yo, my man is doing that. The guys I used to be attracted to are doing that. And now I realize that it's actually beta and it's weak to try to overpower someone, because you basically, as a fake alpha, you basically are trying to make yourself look bigger compared to other people, because in reality you feel smaller. But a real person, that power knows, hey, I'm a light. The same light that's in me is in you, and you the same worth. But that doesn't mean that you ever get to disrespect me. I have my boundaries. I follow my excitement. I follow my dream. Like you said, I have a 2 o'clock call. Hey, we're gonna we'll be able to meet up later. And that was so, like, everything you said was the representation of a man in his power. And I love it.
Yeah. Dude, it's very true. I mean, And I use alpha and beta just to kind of give people a little bit more of an insight. Because when you use power, maybe not a lot of people understand what power means. Like when you use alpha, they think of like a wolf. When they use beta, they think of, you know, I don't want to say queen, but, you know, they think of just someone that follows, or like a sheep. Let's put it sheep. Beta would be a sheep. It just follows everybody's orders. So when I use, a pussy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say alpha, like I'm alpha with my time. When I have things scheduled for the day, like I have to stick to that. It does not matter. It shall not break for nothing unless it's an emergency, unless my family needs me, unless I'm actually, dude, it's very, very difficult for me to break my targets and tasks. This is what I do every day. Each day I have run for 45 minutes. Today's object is to clean the kitchen. I have to lift here in a little bit. I have to row 6,000 meters, study real estate for a minimum of 2 hours.
You don't try to get approval from the lovers or the haters. You're an example of someone following what they love, following their excitement. And if someone is on the same vibration, they will appreciate it and they will see it as an inspiration. But you can only inspire people by doing what you love. Do you know 6ix9ine, the rapper? Do you know 6ix9ine, the rapper?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So he has the most amazing interview he has is on Lyrical Lemonade. And he said this about his success and the key to his success. He said, me and my friends used to do hip hop, like, oh, we can't do this, we can do that, we can only do that. And then he said, once we threw all that away and started to have fun with it and started to just do it for fun, he said, once I loved the music I did, we loved the music we did, and we did it together as fun, that's when the success came and they blew up.
When we started realizing that we take shit too serious and just didn't give a fuck and started having fun with it, and that's the whole thing with the youth that's watching this right now, if it feels like a job, it's never gonna work out. When you start having fun with it, when you stop treating it like a job and something that you have to do to follow your dreams rather than something you want to do because it's fun and you're doing it with your friends, that's when it's going to start being so genuine, and that's when everyone is going to be like, yo, I love this shit. And that's when I started loving this shit, the people started loving me.
That energy is contagious. That energy is like inspiring, and that energy will give you success, and it will make people be inspired by you.
Absolutely.
I'm a king.